have so many talents working from all the industry coming together and creating something so exciting.
What you feel when you're on set and the fact that everyone's coming in, doing their bit and making the magic happen. And when it happens, that's what we live for.
A lot of it is happening because there is nobody really filtering it or anything. You're really able to say the stories that you want to tell.
You know, पूरी दुनिया की philosophy अगर कोई समेट सकता है तो 2 मिसरों में समेट सकता है. It's a kind of short film, you know.
It's a time for female actors to get and be respected for what they are and what they can deliver.
Thank you, Manoj sir and Nawaz sir, for never giving up. I think you guys have really paved the path for a lot of actors.
You're the reason why we exist. Royal Stag Barrel Select Large Short Films presents to you evenings of compelling conversations between renowned artists and content creators.
Welcome to an evening of fascinating conversations, but more importantly, an evening of coming together. Speaking of coming together, I am delighted to report that tonight we couldn't have better company to keep, to share their perspectives on this new normal and what the proliferation of new platforms means for the cinematic craft. Join me in welcoming the man whose very name epitomizes acting craft, जिसका एक ही मकसद बदला तो नहीं, but excellent ज़रूर है, Nawazuddin Siddiqui. As brilliant as she is beautiful, जितनी original, उतनी ही brave, Sayani Gupta. The man who spawned many cinematic subcultures, Bhiku कह लो या सरदार, Manoj Bajpayee. And talented beyond her years, gifted beyond imagination, Zabardast actress, Shweta Basu Prasad. Welcome to all of you. It's lovely to actually be on a set with so many people not wearing masks. Normally, you're used to 1 or 2 people not wearing masks. This is breakthrough for me. Manoj, you and Nawaz were together in Gangs of Wasseypur, and here you are together. I'm very privileged to be with you. But what cinematic experience आपके लिए कैसा था?
I first attended the workshop. What was very heartwarming for me to see this gentleman, you know, in the main cast. And suddenly I saw Jaideep Ahlawat. I was watching Risha Chadda. I was watching Huma Qureshi. Then Vineet, you know, and you name each and everyone playing their part, coming in, shocking you with their immense talent. So for me, it was a learning process, Mandira. More than anything, I was feeling good looking at them, but at the same time, I was learning quite a lot. So it was quite memorable that way, each and every day. है कि नहीं?
नवाज, आपके लिए ये एक्सपीरियंस कैसा था? क्या आप भी मानते हैं कि गैंग्स ऑफ वसेपुर इंडियन सिनेमा के लिए एक टर्निंग पॉइंट था?
शूटिंग करते वक्त तो ये नहीं लग रहा था कि हाँ, सब लोग अपने आप को एक्सप्लोर करते जा रहे थे. हमें नहीं मालूम था स्टोरी क्या है. जब जाते थे सेट पे तभी पता चलता था कि आज ये सीन है और स्टोरी भी कैसे मूव करेगी ये भी नहीं मालूम था. बट द थिंग इज़ कि जो मुझे थोड़ा सा जो खदशा लगता है या थोड़ा सा डरावनापन लगता है वो ये लगता है कि आपने गैंग्स ऑफ वासेपुर का बाहर से तो सारी चीज़ें देख ली, ताली देना या ये करना वो करना, गोली मारना, ये चीज़ें तो अपना लेते हैं. लेकिन जो इतने सारे एक्टर्स ने जो एक्सप्लोर किया और वो एक माहौल बनाया, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ हिम कहीं ना कहीं ये एनर्जी एक वो दे रहे थे सबको और इंस्पायर हो रहे थे इनसे, और एक माहौल बना जैसे इनकी आदत है कैरेक्टर में जाने की और सोचने की, उसको एक्सप्लोर करने की चीज़ें, तो वैसा सबका माहौल बना जी. तो बट वही था गैंग्स ऑफ वासेपुर बन गई. बट द थिंग इज़ कि मुझे जैसे अभी भी इस तरह के जो कैरेक्टर मिलते हैं, आते हैं कि भाई गैंग्स ऑफ वासेपुर को जैसे कैरेक्टर में भाई माफ़ कर, तू वैसा कैरेक्टर ले आएगा, गाली दिलवा देगा, गोली मरवा देगा, सब कुछ. आप हर फिल्म में नए कैरेक्टर इजाद करो, डिस्कवर करो, इनोवेट करो कुछ चीज़ें. ये मेरा personal task actually.
Sayani, with OTT platforms coming up and, you know, different worlds literally have come up, is it easier for young actors to find a place? Because, I mean, stories like 4 More Shots and Akhone, they may not have been made into films, but they found an audience on OTT.
Yeah, of course. You know, I think OTT has really changed the game. And, you know, how Hindi cinema works and typically Bollywood worked. you could only get a certain kind of stories sort of greenlit. You know, producers would always want to take certain kind of actors or stars or certain popular, commercially popular actors. But what OTT did was break that mold. So now you're looking at talent. Like, you have a huge pool to choose from. So I think it's really broken the mold for all of us. And I mean, you couldn't be, you know, there couldn't be a better time to be part of the industry, I feel. So yeah, it's amazing.
Shweta, would you agree with that? You've been making some magic happen on many platforms. And most recently, you've worked with Nawaz on Serious Men. So what do you think about the range of possibilities now for a young actor?
I think the stories that are being told are very diverse. The characters, the pool of characters that we are being offered are very, very diverse. I mean, I had 5 releases this year and all of them were completely different from each other. OTT, yes, I think it's a very democratic platform. It's a very democratic medium because earlier, even if a small film, and when I say small, I mean one that does not have enough budget for a P&A or a release would have a 200-screen release. और उसके सुबह 9 बजे के shows होते थे तो 11 बजे के shows होते थे and a big hero film will come and it'll get washed away. Today there is a viewership for everything. There's a Serious Man, there is a Family Man, there is promo shots. Every kind of content is being viewed and there's viewership for everybody. Also, another thing is it does not have censorship. I think a lot of it is happening because there is nobody really filtering it or anything. You're really able to say the stories that you want to tell. The characters are more fleshed out, and when you have characters, you want actors. When you're watching a series which has the 3-season arc, you want to watch an actor who would invest in a character than somebody who has 8-pack abs, right? So you want to watch Pankaj Tripathi or a Manoj Bajpayee or a Nawaz sir to, you know, like watch them over and over for 8 hours. Most people binge watch series. So of course you need actors playing characters now.
What about shorts, short films? Sayani, to tell an entire story in just a few minutes. What are your thoughts on the format, and do you think this format is here to stay?
Oh, absolutely. You know, growing up, I've been a big fan of short stories. You know, there are certain stories that couldn't be written in a novel, you know, but it's very, very interesting. And I still love reading short stories. You know, in 2017, I had done 17 short films. I was actually saying no to all the big format like films and everything else because nothing interesting was coming. Again, you don't need a longer format. You can tell a complete story within 10 minutes or within half an hour, you know. And a lot of the new directors and new talent and new pool of writers, it's a great way for them to sort of find their language, you know, find their voice, find their sort of what is the kind of stories they want to tell. Detour is one of the films I had done with Vikrant Massey, and now everyone's watching it. It's on like various platforms and all. And, you know, suddenly they're like, oh my God, what a great film. But that director, Sumi Masai, she had just passed out of Xavier's, and she had mailed me saying, you're the first person I'm sending this to. If you say no, I will never make this film. I will not be a filmmaker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I read it, and while I was reading the script, I had tears in my eyes. We did it in one night, we finished the film. And that film happened to win so many awards, including in the Mami. And then now she's, you know, making her other films. And so it's lovely, right? Because as actors, if we can collaborate with newer voices and newer talent, it's great. It's, you know, what else can you work? And one of my short films is just got nominated for the Oscars, by the way. So it's, you know, you can do wonders with short films. Like, sorry, qualified for the Oscars, not nominated. So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Patol Babu film star. ये है दिबाकर की फिल्म. ये एक शॉर्ट फिल्म, इसको हम शॉर्ट फिल्म कह सकते हैं. तो आप भी इस फॉर्मेट में मतलब आपने अपना हाथ डाला. आप कितना एंजॉय करते हैं शॉर्ट फिल्म फॉर्मेट को?
सी मैं 2000 में जब आया था तो शॉर्ट फिल्म से ही मैंने स्टार्ट किया था बहुत सारे काम, और एक बाईपास की थी मैंने, और उसके अलावा आई थिंक मैंने कोई 60-70 के आसपास शॉर्ट फिल्में की थी.
इतनी?
अब तक मैं कर चुका हूँ इतनी शॉर्ट फिल्म्स. शायर की गज़ल होती है ना, एक मिसरा होता है. यू नो, पूरी दुनिया की फिलॉसफी अगर कोई समेट सकता है तो 2 मिसरों में समेट सकता है. इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ शॉर्ट फिल्म, यू नो. ईजी तो है नहीं ये, क्योंकि आपको जो बात कहनी है वो उसमें वो आपको चंद टाइम में कहनी है, जो लोग 3-3 घंटों की पिक्चर में नहीं कह पाते.
आपका अपना फेवरेट शॉर्ट फिल्म कौन सा है?
मैंने फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग उसमें डायलॉग नहीं है बिल्कुल भी. एक बाईपास में
मुझे बाईपास
Everyone needs to watch बाईपास.
हम लोग थे इरफान भाई, मैं और एक बाड़मेर में हम लोगों ने शूट किया था। वो मेरी एक शो रील की तरह बन गई थी। एक्चुअली इससे मुझे बहुत काम भी मिला। क्या कुछ तो होता नहीं था, जाके शॉर्ट फिल्म दे दो। ले भाई, ये तो देख ही सकता है ना। 10 मिनट का काम है।
वो अच्छा पोर्टफोलियो है। When I was starting out, there was nothing like this. So the only thing which was there is, you know, if you just go ahead and do some series. You were part of Shanti, I was part of Swaiman.
Correct.
So, you know, so that, and who was watching us for series?
We.
I
was fully
There were some
watching.
small 5-7-year-old children who were watching it.
Swabhiman और
You were not
Shanti,
even
सच
around,
में।
I don't think.
दोपहर में।
मनोज, आपने सब कुछ कर लिया। आपने फीचर फिल्म्स कर लिए, शॉर्ट फिल्म्स कर लिए, आपने वेब सीरीज भी कर लिए। अब आपने अपना हाथ भोजपुरी रैप में भी मतलब
Was it super? बड़ा मजा
he
आया।
has done some Bhojpuri rap. You know, we're going to ask you to say a little bit and
दो बिगहा में घर वाले की सूतल वानी टेम्पू में जिंदगी अजराइल बाटे नून तेल असैम्पू में
yo yo. पर हुआ कैसे? How and what happened when you were approached?
So I listen to good music and from any language. So that morning somebody has sent me a very good Bhojpuri song. I was listening to it and I thought that I'll share it with Anubhav because Anubhav also has you know, some love for Bhojpuri singing. So I sent it to him. I said, please listen to this. And you know what he's written back? He said, I don't like this singer. I'm sending you a lyrics and it's in Bhojpuri. You tell me how is it. He sent me the poem written by Dr. Saga. Fantastically written. And what forced me to associate myself with it, I was having restless sleep. Those visuals, men walking with their women and the children on their shoulders and the children sleeping on the suitcase, it has left quite an impact on me. I was quite affected. And at that time, I was stuck in Uttarakhand, feeling very helpless. I didn't know how to help. And I was reading about so many actors like Sonu and all of so many other NGOs working, helping. And when this poem happened to me, I thought this is my way of contributing. And somewhere I felt that, you know, I'll be having this sense of redemption. But I didn't know that it will hit the roof. I mean, everyone who is not even aware of this language, you know, they enjoy it. Not only that, they have taken that much of pain to read the subtitle. That made me very happy.
नवाज, मंटो में आपने बहुत ही आप उर्दू बोले और गणेश गायक तोंडे की हिंदी तो बिल्कुल मुंबईया हिंदी है। तो आपके हिसाब से किरदार निभाने में ज़बान की कितनी अहमियत होती है?
ज़बान को पकड़ लेना एक दूसरी बात है, उसकी रवानगी आना एक दूसरी बात है। जैसे बाड़ा साहब ठाकरे का भी किया तो उसमें मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा एक्चुअली मेहनत करनी पड़ी। तो उर्दू तो खैर एक ज़बान है मेरी, मैं रहा हूँ उन लोगों के बीच में जहाँ उर्दू बोली जाती। बट मराठी जो था वो बिल्कुल ही मेरे से बहुत दूर दूर थी। बट उसके लिए एक तो है कि भाई मराठी आपने सीख ली, लेकिन एक है वो पर्टिकुलर जो बाड़ा साहब जो बोलते थे वो किस तरीके से बोलते थे, वो कहाँ से आए थे, क्या बैकग्राउंड था। तो ज़बान से भी आप अगर कि उसके किरदार में जाने के बहुत सारे रास्ते भी मिलते हैं।
Before I turn to these two gentlemen about their biopic and the characters they've played, I want to ask you, I missed it out earlier. Shweta, large short films holds a very important place in your heart and is important to your career. Share that with us.
Well, my parents were like really strict about my education, and that's why after Iqbal, I did not take up any acting projects. And after that, I'd been like making documentaries. I worked with Anurag Kashyap as an assistant director on a short film with Phantom Films, and acting had taken a back seat. Up until 2014, when a very dear friend of mine, he was making this short film, and I came on board as a co-producer. It's called Interior Cafe Night, and I think it's one of the most successful short films on Large Short Films platform. It was also Naseeruddin Shah's first short film. And I got in touch with Naseer Uncle, with Sharnaz ma'am, Naveen Kasturia, and doing everything else. Till one day, Adhiraj Bose, who's the writer, producer, director, said, "Tu acting bhi kar rahi hai isme." And I'm like, no, you know, I'm the producer on this. Main vanity ke aas paas ghoomungi. You know, the things you've seen. I mean, what I'd seen as a kid, I was like, let me do that. And he insisted that I play a part, and I did. And it was so nostalgic to be on set after so many years. And large short films happened to acquire it. It did so well that whatever work that I have been hence receiving actually started with Interior Cafe Night. And I've had 4 short films association thus far with large short films. And it's very interesting because, come to think of it, cinema started with short films.
Would you say that short films were like a turning point in your career?
Absolutely, absolutely. Got me back into acting for sure. So whatever I owe so far is actually, large short films has been instrumental in that.
I really like the film though.
Thank you.
It's really nice.
Do you think OTT is providing better roles for women, stronger roles for women?
So I think overall we have moved in a more progressive, if I may. I mean, it's a big term, but you know, it's rolling out in a good way, but I still feel there's a long way to go.
Of course,
Absolutely.
I don't think we are starting female-oriented films or characters right now. I think they've always been. I mean, come to think of it, an Achut Kanya was made in 1936, produced and acted by Devika Rani, along with Ashok Kumar Sahab, and it was about love beyond casteism.
But they were few and far.
They were very few and
decades.
far. But of course, there were films like Sujata and Abhiman, which also speaks about a patriarchal mindset where you don't really are not okay with your wife doing better or getting popular, or Umrao Jans and Manisha Koirala in the films Tabu has done, and right now what Taapsee Pannu is doing. But what's happened with OTT particularly is, because there are so many fresh stories being written, there are a lot of real characters being written. Today you see Neena Gupta and Shefali Shah doing wonderful job. You know, you see people, you know, age is not the barrier, nothing is the barrier, and there are characters being written. And ये हो रहा था West में, European cinema में कई सालों से. But यहाँ पर somehow वो सास बनती थी या मम्मी बनती थी या teacher बनती थी. I think all that is changing, and new voices are coming in, and I completely second that. It's also very progressive because a lot of female storytellers are coming in, and they're saying it with a female gaze and not something that's written and perceived and narrated with a male gaze.
You know, the OTT का है कि आप कोई भी show देखो, you, more than how you like the show, you like characters. You fall in love with the characters. Your investment are with the characters. So the writing is very different for a show than a film, because the film has, again, as Sir was saying, that, you know, 2 protagonists या 1 protagonist. यहाँ पे आपको art as interesting. अब जब Sacred Games देखते हो, for me, Bunty was my takeaway from Sacred Games 1. You know, he's not the protagonist, so to say. But you fall in love with different characters, you know, like Katekar was so popular after Sacred Games, right?
Yeah.
So here, the length is not important. It can be still more interesting than the lengthiest role.
Absolutely.
It's a time for female actors to get and be respected for what they are and what they can deliver. Is something that not only they were looking for, but we as male counterparts were also looking for this kind of a situation.
Yeah.
Okay, where everybody is getting what they deserve.
एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम कहाँ हो रही थी, जो फॉर्मूला फिल्म होती थी ना, उसमें अब हीरो के पीछे 3 हीरोइन खड़ी हैं, वो हीरोइन नहीं, ये फैक्ट है, मैं बता रहा हूँ. जैसे बहुत सारी फिल्मों में से 80s की जो सिनेमा था, उसमें मतलब क्यों काम कर रही उसको खुद पता नहीं था, तो क्योंकि टाइम ही ऐसा था. और थैंक गॉड कुछ डायरेक्टर्स ने या फीमेल ने खुद ने स्टैंड लिया कि नहीं बॉस, अब तुम्हारी जरूरत नहीं, हम खुद क्रिएट करें.
एंड ऑल्सो
माहौल बनाया.
और उसके साथ साथ नवाज क्या है कि ओटीटी ने उसको बहुत पुश दिया है.
एग्जैक्टली, ओटीटी
बहुत ज्यादा पुश दिया है. इन द टाइम ऑफ 90s, nobody could have given a second look to any one of us. I mean, we were like headless chicken going from one office to another, and they used to look at us and wondering as to why in the first place we have landed in Bombay, because, you know, they could not place us anywhere. सारी स्टूडियो में जहाँ भी जाता था, वहाँ पे सिर्फ गाने ही शूट हो रहे होते थे.
But thank you, Manoj sir and Nawaz sir, for never giving up. I think you guys have really paved the path for a lot of actors.
You're the reason why we exist, you know?
Yeah. So thank you for never giving up.
Seriously.
And that wraps it up for today, ladies and gentlemen. The global situation has made it essential that we come together as humanity, and especially as cinema artists. Today, we did come together, and in doing so, got some brilliant insights from some of our industry's most noteworthy. As always, this discussion was made possible by Royal Stag Barrel Select Large Short Films, the brand and platform that has become the torchbearer of today's cinema. On behalf of Royal Stag, Barrel Select, Large Short Films, this is Mandira Bedi signing off.